Hi everyone, welcome to Wesno's Tech News and Reviews. Today we've got a very interesting review and comparison for you. We're going to be comparing the original GTS as well as the all-new GTS 2 Mini. So what are the differences? Is it just the design? Is it just a smaller case? Or is there more to the differences between these two smartwatches? Well, that's what we're going to be finding out today. If you are new to Wesno's Tech News and Reviews, we talk about the latest tech news. We do brutally honest reviews and share hacks and tricks along the way. Amazfit's range of smartwatches is growing rapidly, and it's not just in numbers, but in quality as well. The funny thing is, prices are not growing. In fact, you get much more for less. The original GTS is one of my favorites in the budget smartwatch segment for a number of reasons. It's super light, for one. The interface is so intuitive, and of course the awesome and bezel-less 1.65-inch AMOLED display is just a dream to look at, and it sets you back just $120. And now we have the all-new GTS 2 Mini, which costs just $100 or £80. It's slightly smaller with 1.55-inch AMOLED display, so not that much smaller actually, but it has much more features than the original GTS, like a pulse ox monitor, breathing app, a stress monitor, more sports modes and so forth. There's quite a lot to discuss and compare within these two watches, so we better get started. And we're going to kick off with the designs, the displays, and then we'll get into the features and functions. And if at any point you do want to skip through, then please note there are timestamps in the description below the video. Let's just take a look at them. From the front, the two watches are so similar. Squarish faces, rounded corners, and a single button on the right of the watch face. Even the straps look and feel almost identical. Let's take a closer look. The GTS 1's watch case is aluminium alloy. The 2.5D glass curves down and looks almost seamless as it covers the watch case. For a rather large watch, the weight is just 25 grams without the straps. And unfortunately, the luster of the GTS's design finishes about here. The button on the right is plastic. The underside of the watch is also quite bland with dull grey plastic. The GTS 2 Mini has actually improved on the premium feel of the watch. The smaller front looks neater and actually more fitting for the slender wrists. The chic look is emphasized by the silver aluminium alloy that rounds the case. The smaller size decreased the weight by 20% to just 20 grams without the straps. The button on the side is actually also aluminium. Once you turn it over, you're welcomed with a glossy back that is significantly more exciting than the dull grey on the GTS 1. Dimensions wise, the GTS 1 is 43.3 by 36.3 millimeters, while the GTS 2 Mini is 40.5 by 35.8 millimeters. So if we think about those dimensions, yes, it's a bit shorter, but it's just as wide. Well, nearly just as wide. No surprise that the Mini is also thinner than the GTS by 5%, coming in at just 8.95 millimeters. Let's get over to the straps. As you've picked up already, both straps are actually the 20mm replaceable straps. That's the good. The bad, in my view, is that the lugs on both are plastic. That is simply not cool, nor does it inspire us with much confidence. If we look at the clasps, they're classic watch type, but also plastic, and there's nothing premium here. Thankfully, you can easily replace the straps for third-party ones. Now let's mention the displays because they are huge. On the GTS 1, you've got a 1.65-inch AMOLED display. On the GTS 2 Mini, you've got a 1.55-inch AMOLED display. Let's face it, both are large enough for easy reading of health stats, texts, weather, and so forth. Both have ambient light sensors for auto brightness. Also, there's always on display on both. What I did notice with regards to auto brightness is that the grading of the colors on the GTS 1 is more crude than on the Mini. On the Mini, the auto brightness changes are just slightly more fluid and easy on the eye. Another point to mention is the resolution. The GTS 1 pumps out 341 pixels per inch with 348 by 442 pixels, while the Mini brings 354 by 306 pixels, and that's just 301 PPI density. The good thing is you've got downloadable faces on both of these watches, whereby you can download or upload any photo from your phone to the watch face. Let me actually show you how it's done. I'll upload a photo to the GTS One from my Samsung S10. And by the way, you can do it from either an iOS device or an Android device. Open the Zepp app, go to Profile screen, tap on your paired device, then watch face settings. Choose custom and tap to change the watch face background. You can either take a photo or pick one up from your gallery. I'll just use an existing photo of the Amazfit Neo. Resize and tap to sync. And voila! Wow, that does look amazing, doesn't it? The colors are just so bright and the blacks are so deep. To summarize, the GTS 2 Mini has a much more premium looking front as well as the back. The plastic lugs are a disappointment on both, but then I've had the GTS One for over 4 months and it's still fine. The display is brighter, larger and has a higher PPI on the original GTS though. Hence, there's no clear winner here. Hopefully the features and functions will make things a bit more clear for us. So let's get on with the sports, and let me mention straight away that both of these watches have dual inbuilt GPS as well as being waterproof and water resistant up to 50 meters. The GTS One has just 12 preset sport modes and they all seem useful and well thought through, and actually modes that you're likely to use, such as outdoor running, cycling, trail running, treadmill, skiing and pool swimming, to name a few. The activities are goal-based, that is, you can set goals for an activity like duration, distance covered or calories burnt. The Mini destroys the GTS One sports functionality by offering 70 sport profiles over 12. They're also goal-based, but now with smart activity alerts. There are actually 3 activity alerts, and these are the safe heart rate reminder. So if your heart rate is higher than the predefined heart rate value, you get alerts via haptic vibrations. There's also the heart rate range alert. So if your heart rate is out of the predefined heart rate range when you're working out, the watch vibrates to notify you that your heart rate is too high or too low and displays your current heart rate. Then you also get the pace too slow alert. And what happens here is, if your real-time pace is lower than the predefined value when you are working out, the watch vibrates to notify you that the pace is too low and displays your current pace. On top of that, you can now customize your data display screen and choose the data you require for a workout. And of course, both watches do get Pi, because as we know, the Pi metric is available on all Xiaomi and Amazfit wearables these days. The Pi score is calculated by processing data about your heart rate and activity intensity, sleep metrics and other health data. The single value score provides a customized health evaluation of each user based on their unique health data. So basically, keep your score above 100 and statistically it means that you're about 25% less prone to getting heart disease. But if you consider the 2 widgets separately between the GTS One and the GTS 2 Mini, the GTS 2 Mini just does it slightly better, because you do have a heart rate plot as well as intensity gauges, which makes it much more interesting and insightful. Both watches can actually monitor your sleep, and both do it rather well, because you do get 3 sleep stages, so your light, your deep and REM sleep on both watches, and that's great. Another great thing is that you do get sleep scores as well as advice and recommendations on how to actually improve your sleep quality. Now, the rest of the innovative and great features and functions that I'm going to mention are present on the GTS 2 Mini, but not on the GTS One. Unfortunately, the features and functions that remain on the GTS One are just the basic and core features like your stopwatch, your timer, your weather widget and so forth. But the GTS Mini, wow, it does bring a whole lot to us. So let's take a look at it. There's a stress monitor. The GTS 2 Mini can check to see where your personal stress level lies, from relaxed, normal, medium or high. A nice touch is the addition of a guided breathing app that you can use to relax or simply perform respiratory exercises with. The watch also gets an on-demand SpO2 monitor, aka blood oxygen saturation monitor or pulse oxygen. Considering the monitor is on demand, essentially at a point in time, the readings are stored and transferred to your smartphone when synced. You can see the trends in the Zepp app, or you can see the trends up to 3 hours on your watch face. Now there's a world clock app on your watch. You can add up to 20 different locations from the Zepp app and synchronize them to the watch. Then you can view information including local times and the differences between local and that location's time zone. You also get a Pomodoro tracker. This app allows you to manage time scientifically and set the concentration times in cycles, such as 25 minutes concentration and 5 minutes break, but you can adjust these work and break cycles. So if we do a summary on the features and functions between the two watches, I think it's obvious that the GTS 2 Mini just offers way more. There's a stress monitor, there's an SpO2 monitor, there is a Pomodoro tracker, there's a world clock app, and there's also the breathing app. It's just that the GTS 2 Mini does become more premium in terms of looks, and well, it's more unisex because it is slightly smaller, so it will fit the slender wrists a bit more. And of course, it does have a number of those premium features, such as much more sport modes. If you actually recall, we made a test and comparison between the GTS 1 and the Honor Magic Watch 2 when I was playing some tennis. And the fact is, I had to use the freestyle sport mode on the GTS 1, while the Honor Magic Watch 2 actually did have a tennis profile. So with having just 12 preset sport modes on the GTS 1, it is a bit restrictive if you want to measure your calories for a specific exercise. And hence, I think it's quite clear that the GTS 2 Mini, first of all, is cheaper, it looks better, and it has much more functionality. Except for one point, the screen is brighter and has a high resolution on the GTS 1. But then again, 301 ppi on the GTS 2 Mini, that's very good as well. And again, you're getting that for just $100 or just under that. And that's a great price for a whole lot of value. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you did find this review useful and insightful, then you know what to do. Please click on the red subscribe button below the video, and also do let me know in the comments what you think of the two watches and which one would you prefer.